Well, first of all, I guess congratulations on season 2.
Thank you so much.
So we're seeing that in 2016.
Yes, I imagine so, yeah.
Do you know yet where that's going to fall in kind of the whole Defenders build-up? Is it going to be
I
like...
don't know, I don't. I presume that, because I imagine we'll be shooting that very soon. We'll probably go into production in June, July of this year. So it'd be unlikely, there's no way that I could do Defenders before then.
Yes, yeah.
So the likelihood is that that Daredevil 2 will come up before Defenders. But you never know, they could hold it, I guess.
And was it something that when you signed up for the first season, were you contracted for future seasons as well as Defenders? Was all that options
yeah, but that's
in
very common. So I didn't think that, I didn't assume that guaranteed any further seasons. In fact, I wasn't even sure if they intended to do further seasons because they've got such a big commitment with the Netflix Marvel collaboration, being the first 4 and then the Defenders. So I was, when it was even being discussed or there were whispers of a second season, I was very, very excited. I also think, having worked on the first season and witnessed what that storyline is and how Daredevil kind of evolves Matt Murdock evolves into Daredevil and how long we took with that journey. I think I felt like it's going to be valid to have a season where you really get to live with Daredevil in his full persona before you meet the Defenders.
Yeah, and has there been any talk? Do you know, like, is it going to be a fresh original story? Is it going to be something from the comics? Is there already plans?
No, they haven't. All I know is that we're going to do a second season.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that they've discussed. Obviously, I don't even know whether there'll be a new villain or whether Wilson Fisk will reappear.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
That must have been really fun acting with Vincent D'Onofrio.
He's extraordinary.
It's kind of some of the best scenes in the show when you meet in the art gallery. It's fantastic.
Yeah. And we have. I remember when I read episode 6, and me and Nico, the actor who played Vladimir, we're in that basement, and then you hear that voice, and you don't know where it's coming from, and it turns out to be on the walkie-talkie. I remember that's great writing. It's brilliant.
I'm wondering, what kind of research did you do beforehand? Did Marvel come to you and Netflix come to you and go, here is a stack of Daredevil comics?
They give me a Marvel Unlimited account, which is one of the great perks of being in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And so I read a lot of comics, and I really kind of wanted to find the different writers and illustrators and issues that best represented the show that was being written. It seemed
to be very Frank Miller influenced. Like there's bits from all over, but
a lot of Frank Miller. Obviously, the costume, the first black ninja costume is taken from the Man Without Fear, the John Romita Jr. Illustration. But also I spent a lot of time reading the Bendis Malieve stuff.
Yeah.
Tonally, I think that feels very spot on for the show we were trying to make. It's very kind of dark. It's very kind of lonely, and it's a very ashamed, world with a lot of criminal activity going on, and a city that's infected with dodgy behavior. And so, and that as I say, that really fitted in with the kind of show that was the scripts that were coming to me. So I concentrated on them quite a lot. Yeah.
On our show, we do think I am mostly kind of like movie TV based, but I've got 2 co-hosts who are really comic book focused. Okay. So every time after we watch a property, they go like, here are the comics you should follow up by reading.
Okay, great. Oh, that's very cool.
Having now finished the first season of Daredevil, what would you recommend that I read from?
So if you've never read anything,
I've read The Man Without Fear and Born Again.
Okay, so great. So 2 brilliant ones. You got to read Man Without Fear. I also encourage people to watch Frank Miller's first run at Daredevil in the 70s, which was, I think it was 70s. Oh God, I better check that. But that he did with Klaus Janson. That's a really, really good series. And the first two episodes, Daredevil comes into Peter Parker's world, and then we go off with Daredevil, and we meet, some of the great characters and etc. Everything that Bendis Malieve did together. Another one of my favorites is End of Days, which was Bendis Mac, and Malieve was involved in that as well. So some really, really cool issues there.
Okay, and so just one final question. If Daredevil was going to show up in one Marvel Phase 3 movie, which one would you like it to be? Which character would you like Daredevil to spend time with? Is it Spider-Man?
And obviously Daredevil has a history with Black Widow, and I'd love to see, that would be an interesting dynamic. Not just because Scarlett Johansson plays the part, but I think I'd love to see what that dynamic is, and I think they're quite similar in terms of the energies that they bring to the group.
Yeah.
I think we're quite similar, so I'd be very interested to see what that dynamic is.
Well, you'd have to fight the Hulk for her.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's excellent,
And
Charlie.
in the past, that's not gone well. Yeah.
No.